So, taking your feet so they're hip width apart, looking down at them and trying to get those inside edges as parallel as possible. Spreading the toes. Thinking about pressing down through all the toes. In fact, let's do that. So pressing down through the toes and give yourself a bit of a lean forward so you take the weight into the toes and feel the activation up the front of your body. And then taking the weight back into the heels and feeling what happens in the back of the body as you do that. Coming back to center, going over to the right and over to the left. And then coming back to center again. So, soles of the feet, just noticing the soles of your feet, what they feel like pressing into your mat. And then think about that central point in the very top of your head and extend up from there to the giant sucker plunger on your head. Meets sucking you up. Okay, find the length in the back of the neck with space at the base of the skull. Nice heavy shoulders, fingertips to the floor. So maybe a sense of, sometimes I imagine my fingertips are being sucked down towards the floor. Like that. And then let's start by inhaling, taking the arms all the way up. Stretching up, fingertips to the ceiling. And then letting them float back down. Remembering shoulder height, palms up. Feel the stretch in the sides of your body. And then let it float back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. And then this time, interlacing your fingers and turning the palms so they face the ceiling. Feeling the stretch in both sides of the body, from the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop your hands to the top of your head. Feel the shoulder blades come down the back, the shoulders relax. And then we'll push the ceiling away again with the next inhale. Do that again. Hands come down, everything relaxes. And then push the ceiling away again. Going over to the right, stretching out the left side, breathing all the way down the left side of the body. Coming back to center, let the hands drop, feel the shoulders relax. Find the length in the back of the neck again. Push the ceiling away. And over the other side. Breathing into the right side of your body. Back to center. And this time, as you bring the arms down, we're going to take the hands to the back of the head. Noticing as you draw the elbows out, just noticing if you're taking that in the back at all and evening yourself up. So again, you want that lovely long spine, the space in between the vertebrae, the lengthening from the crown of the head. And then drawing those elbows out. Inhaling, exhaling, turning to the right. Keep drawing the elbows out. Think about the pressure in the feet. So trying to keep both feet firmly pressed down. Coming back to center as you inhale. Exhale over to the left. Back to center. Over to the right. Back to center. And over to the left. Back to center and release the arms down. Give them a little bit of a sway. Taking the hands to the shoulders, and we'll make some circles there. Crunching in the shoulder blades. Changing direction. And then bringing the elbows so they point forward and bringing them together basically, and then squeezing them together as much as you can. And taking them out wide. And again, bringing them in and squeezing. Taking them out wide. And then extend the arms out. Palms face forward. Making birds with your hands. So thumb, fingers together. And then you draw them forward. And as you draw them forward, you get that lovely stretch along the arm. We're going to switch these off and switch them back on again. So you let go of it and then you switch it back on. Let go of it, switch it back on. Noticing the muscle engagement in the arm as you do that. Okay. Leave it on, turn the birds to the floor. Notice how that changes the muscle engagement in the arms. And then switch it off. And switch it back on again. Switch it off, switch it back on. Keep it on, and then we're going to take the arms behind us. So you're trying to keep them as straight as you can. Keep the birds on as much as you can. Extending from the crown of the head again. While we're here, let's have a little paddle. Let's start moving the feet. Driving the knees forward, coming onto the toes as much as you can. Release the arms. Have another little sway, swing and a sway. Beautiful. And then a bit of an Elvis, so circling round with the right leg. And go left leg. Lovely. And then let's stretch out the top of the foot. So if you flip over the toes, stretch out the top of the foot there. Flip them back and do the other one. Okay. And then let's go up and down on our toes at the moment. So stretching all the way up and then lowering yourself back down. Coming all the way up on an inhale. Lowering yourself down. Once more, coming all the way up. And this time, let's stay there for a moment. Breathing there. Notice where you need to apply the pressure to even it out a little bit. Lowering yourself back down. Beautiful. Front of the mat. Then we're going to inhale, take the arms up, stretching up. Exhale, draw the hands to prayer at the heart space. Bend the knees. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, extend the arms out in front of you. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under and curl all the way through. Extend through the arms. Find a really good extension all the way down through the spine. And then releasing the arms and interlacing the hands behind you. Inhale, come up to standing. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Coming forward and letting the arms come up and over. Just as much as it's comfortable, you don't want to overdo that. Bending the knees, let the rib cage come down onto the thighs. Breathing into the back, breathing into the lower back. Release the hands. Sweep them either side of the feet and come back up into chair. Extend through the arms. And then take the hands to prayer. Draw the prayer to the heart center. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, extend the arms out. Exhale, curl through. Release the hands, interlace them behind you. Inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale, folding forward. Arms come up, let the knees bend, bring the rib cage down onto the thighs. The head is really like loose and floppy, so the crown of the head points towards the floor. You can have a little nod of your head here. Loosen it up a little bit. And then release the hands, sweep them either side of the feet and pop them down on the ground in front of you. I like to use my fingertips for this. Inhale, extend the right leg out. You're keeping your pelvis parallel with the floor and you extended the right leg out. A few little taps there, tap down, bring it back up. Tap it down, bring it back up. 5 of those. 4, 5. Okay, keeping the hands, so the legs still up, keeping the hands on the floor. We're going to turn the right hip towards the ceiling. So the right hip goes up and the waist and the rib cage. And then you square it off again. So you drop that right hip down and you square it off again. So your inhale lifts the hip, the rib cage, and I come right up onto the fingertips on my right hand. And then let it come back down. You're lifting the hip up as you inhale, opening the right side of the body to the sky, letting it drop back down. So we're doing 5 of those as well. Pop the right foot back down and curl back over the thigh. Inhale, take the hands to the legs and lengthen through the spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, really find the length. Exhale, curl back down over the rib cage, drop the head. Inhale, lengthen, hands to legs, lengthen. Exhale, curling down. Next, inhale, roll all the way up the spine, unpeeling it. Arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. And then your exhale comes into chair prayer again. So you bend the knees and draw the prayer to the heart center. I'm afraid we've got to do the other side. Interlace the hands. Inhale, extend them out in front of you. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, curl all the way through. Release the hands and interlace them behind your back as you push through the feet and come up to standing. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Exhale, hinge at the hips, coming forward, letting the arms come up and over, bending the knees, breathing into the back. Release the hands, sweep them either side and pop them down on the floor in front of you. And then you inhale that left leg up. Keeping the pelvis level, parallel with the floor. Doing toe taps to start with. 5 of those. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Okay. And then keeping that leg up, squeeze the right thigh as much as you can. The right thigh, the right buttock really. And then see if you can lift the left hip up towards the sky. And then let it come back down again. So you inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, letting it drop back down. So you're kind of Thinking about the hip going up to the sky and then, okay. Pop the foot back down, curl back down over the thighs. Inhale, hands to legs, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's roll, rolling, 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 all the way back up. Arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Draw the prayer to your heart center and release. Beautiful. Okay, let's step back and do some warriors. So stepping back with the left foot. Warrior 2, foot positioning. Your right foot is pointing directly forward. The outside edge of your back foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat, and then you should move the heel out a little bit. And your pelvis is running as parallel as possible with the long edge of your mat. Okay, find the length through the crown. Helpful to have your hand on your pelvis. Beautiful. Inhale, and your exhale bends the front knee. Knee goes roughly over the ankle. The pelvis doesn't move as you drive the knee to the right. And then you can inhale, take the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Look out over your fingertips of your left hand. And then your right. Feel that lengthening all the way through the arms, fingertips to fingertips. Check in with the feet. Even pressure through the feet. Drive the knee to the right. Breathing into the belly. Nice soft face. Drop the back hand to the back leg. Turn the right palm up, reverse warrior. So inhaling into reverse warrior, feeling that stretch in the right side. And then as you exhale, cartwheel the arms round, forearm goes onto the thigh, the palm faces up, and you extend through the left arm to Parsvakonasana, thinking about your hip, your rib cage all turning up to the sky. So we're going to inhale, come up and go into reverse warrior. The legs stay exactly the same. And then as you exhale, cartwheeling to Parsvakonasana. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Next, inhale as you come up from Parsvakonasana, straighten the front leg. We're going to go into Trikonasana. So the arms go back shoulder height. Inhale, and as you exhale, the giant grabs your right hand. Keep the length through the sides of the body. And then pop the hand down. Now, I've been doing this, and I quite like doing this. So if you take your index finger and pop it on your hip, and kind of think about using that to draw that hip up to the sky. And then go up an inch or two to your waist and do the same. Lower ribs, do the same. Upper ribs. So you're turning the whole of that up to the sky. And then you can either pop your hand on your hip or you can extend it up to the ceiling. Either way, you want this openness of the chest. The shoulders, you've got lots of space for the neck, shoulders away. You can either look up at the hand or you can look forward. You want to keep the length in your neck. Beautiful. And then look down at your right foot. Sweep the hands down either side and swivel on your back foot. So you're now in a lunge. Drawing the shoulders. Sending the heel away on that back foot. We're going to do a little rockety-roo. So you take the weight back and lift up that right foot. And then coming forward. So you pop the right foot back down, you bring the weight forward and you flip over the back toes. So you're taking the weight back and bringing the foot up. And then taking the weight forward and flipping over. Little rockety-roo. You can do that as fast or as slowly as you fancy. So it's a hamstring stretch and a, what else is it? Calf, toes, obviously. Okay, and then stepping forward with the left foot, curling down over the thighs again. And then inhale, coming all the way back up, arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Hands to prayer at the heart center. And release. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. So, this time, stepping back with the right foot. Check your feet positioning. Even pressure throughout. Okay, hands to pelvis. Length through the crown. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, bend the knee roughly over the ankle. Drive it to the left without bringing the right hip forward. And then you inhale, take the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Fingertip to fingertip. Doo-doo. And then the gaze is out over the middle finger of your left hand. Nice soft face. Nice breathing. Even breaths into the belly. Driving that knee. And then drop the back hand to the leg. Turn the palm up on the front one. And inhale yourself into reverse warrior. Have a couple of breaths in that stretch. And then as you exhale, cartwheel around to Parsvakonasana. So your inhale, you're coming up to reverse warrior. And then you're cartwheeling the Parsvakonasana. I love this stretch. Can't remember how many we did. Let's do one more. One more round. And then next time you're coming up from Parsvakonasana, you straighten that leg and bring the arms so they're shoulder height. Going into Trikonasana. Giant grabs your hand. Find the length through the sides of the body. And then pop the hand down. Index finger. It doesn't have to be index finger. Place something on your hip. Draw that up to the sky. Thinking about the waist doing that, the rib cage. So you're just working your way up the side of your body. Giving it a bit of feedback to what it's to turn, the way you're trying to get that to move. And then you can take the arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Breathing there. Looking down at your left foot, sweeping the hands down either side and swiveling on the back foot. You're in a lunge. Draw the shoulders, extend through the crown. Taking the weight back and lifting that left foot up. And then bringing the weight forward and flipping over the back toes. Rockety-roo. In whatever format you like. So that could be fast or slow. You obviously don't have to go over the toes. Although it is good to get your toes moving. There's no doubt about it. And then when everything starts to ache a little bit, you can step that right foot forward to meet the left. And this time, bring the feet together. So inside edges of your feet together, folding down over your thighs, rolling up as you inhale. Draw the hands to prayer and release. Okay. Driving down through the toes again, through all of the feet. See if you can draw the big toes towards each other and get some sensations going in the arches of your feet. And then inhale, take the arms up, hands to prayer. As you exhale, draw the prayer to the heart center and bend the knees. So you're in chair prayer again, but this time your legs are together. Really keep those legs together. Okay, squeezing the thighs, taking the left elbow and popping it in between your thighs, and then drawing the right shoulder back and the elbow up to the sky. And again, it's that hip, waist, rib cage up to the sky, finding the length through the back of the neck and through the spine. Breathing there. Back to center as you exhale. As you inhale, push through the feet, come all the way back up again. Arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale. Back into chair prayer. Squeeze the thighs together. Right elbow in between them. As you inhale, you're drawing that shoulder back, drawing the rib cage up to the sky, breathing there. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Hands to prayer. Exhale, draw the prayer to the heart space. And this time, hinge at the hips, coming forward. Releasing down, bending the knees, letting the rib cage come down onto the thighs. Inhale, lengthen. That might be putting your hands on your legs. That might be keeping your hands on the floor. And then as you exhale, popping the hands down, and we're going to step back into a plank. Drawing the shoulders. And then dropping the knees. And lowering yourself down really slowly. Trying to keep the arms in as you lower yourself down, thighs, belly, chest. Hitting at the same time. Forehead to the floor. Draw the elbows up to the sky, taking the hands off, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then popping the hands back down, pushing through them, up onto all fours, tuck the toes, downward dog. Have a little wiggle and a paddle in your downward dog. Little bend in the knees. Arse to the sky. And that lengthening through the spine. So remembering that this is all about space along the spine. Top of the head is kind of aiming. If you had a laser coming out of the top of your head, it would be in between your hands. So you're keeping that length through the back of the neck. Dropping the knees and flattening the feet. And we're going to do a few cat-cows. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, curl up through the spine, drop the head. As you inhale, the pelvis goes the other way, drop the belly, open the chest. Gaze is forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, curling up. Inhale. Open it. And again. Coming back to a neutral spine and extending the right leg out onto the toes. Making circles to start with, round those toes. One way and then the other. And then lifting the leg up. Pointing the toe, bending the knee and bringing the heel in towards the bottom. So we're going to flex and extend the leg out and then point, bend and bring the heel in. Flex, extend out, point, bend, bring the heel in. Driving down through the left shin to keep that balance. One more of those. And then you can bring that leg back down and we'll do the other side. So extending the left leg out, starting by circling around those toes. Changing direction. Beautiful. And then even yourself up again. Drive down through the right shin. Bring that left leg up, point the toe, bend the knee, bring the heel in. So that should be hamstring and glute. And then flex the foot and extend out. So point and bend, drive it in, flex, extend. Point and bend, flex, extend. Once more, point and bend. And then you can bring that leg down and draw the hips back into a child's pose. Breathing in your child's pose. Inhale yourself back up onto all fours. And taking the hands a hand distance forward, going to drop the forearms down. Dropping the forearms down, squeezing the elbows together. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, forearms drop down. So let's do a few of those. Notice if your hands want to move. So you want your hands pointing forward. Like if your hands start to turn out, they're obviously taking the movement as opposed to your shoulders. So you really want to squeeze the elbows together and feel that in the shoulders. Coming back up, walk the hands in towards the knees and come up into a high kneel. Arms forward, palms face each other. Leaning back, but as we lean back, we want to keep this straight line. So thinking about pushing your hips forward with your bottom as you lean back. So I kind of lean back and then push my hips forward a little bit. So lean back and then push my hips forward a little bit. So quite quaddy. Coming back up, bring the hands down, step forward with the right foot. Driving down through the right foot and the left shin. So you make that contact and then squeeze everything together. So if you squeeze the thighs together, there's a lot of activation in this bottom half of the body. And then you can inhale the left arm up, stretch up as high as you can. Exhale, taking the elbow to the outside of the right thigh. So having a little twist there. Inhaling up. And exhaling down, twisting. Trying to keep that right leg still. Okay, beautiful. And then we'll just take the right foot out a little bit. You could angle that right foot if you wanted to. And pop the hands down on the inside of the right foot. And I'm going to take my left knee back a little bit as well. Gives me a bit more space. And then just allowing that right foot to roll onto the outside edge. So you're allowing the right knee to fall out to the right. I'm just going to breathe there for a moment. Okay, replacing the foot, tucking the toes under on the back foot, and we're going to step the right foot back into a downward dog. So we're now back in a downward dog. Lengthening through the spine, through the neck. Breathing in your downward dog. And then dropping the knees back onto all fours. Drive down through the shins. We're going to do dog wee pose. Right leg goes straight out to the side. So you're driving down through the left shin. and the right leg goes out to the side. You don't want to move your pelvis. So this is very much, you're feeling this in the side glute there. So you don't want to move your pelvis. Now you can let the leg come in and take it back out again a few times. But each time you want to keep your pelvis as still as possible. Okay. You can pop that down. We'll do the other side. So this time you're driving down through the right shin and taking the left leg out. So there's not a lot of movement there, because if you don't move your pelvis, that's just about what the hips are doing. Going out, releasing it, let it coming back, and then taking it back out again. Doesn't really matter what you do with the foot. Sometimes I flex it. Okay. And then popping that left shin back down, walking the hands in towards the knees, and this time stepping the left foot forward. And we'll inhale the right arm up. Ooh, lots of lovely length in the right side. And then bending the elbow, and the elbow heads to the outside of the left leg. Inhaling up. Ooh, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. And then moving that foot, moving the left foot over a little bit, maybe having it a bit of an angle, popping the hands down, maybe shimmering the knee back, letting the left knee fall out to the side, coming onto the outside edge of your left foot. Breathing there, relaxing into the stretch. So trying to use that exhale to let go. And then tucking the toes under on the back foot and stepping the left foot back again into downward dog. Have a little. Looking at your hands, take the right knee to the right wrist and the left knee to the left one, crossing the shins and sitting yourself down. Okay, let's do Navasana. So feet together, legs together, hands on knees. You find the length through the spine to start with. Shoulders are down, and then taking the torso back 45 degrees. And then it's up to you. If you want to bring the legs up, you can. You could always hold underneath your knees. Arms out, whatever you fancy. Releasing yourself down, feet down, and just taking the hands behind you. And we'll do a few windscreen wipers with our legs. So dropping the legs down to the right, coming back to centre, and then dropping them down to the left. Just loosening things up there a little bit more. We're going to do some 1990 stuff. Feet hip width apart, take the hands so the fingers are pointing towards you, and then boshing the hips up, straight up, bosh the hips up. Breathing there. So bottom is driving the hips up, 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 up. And then coming back down again, bringing yourself up into Sitting, you might want to sit on a block. We're just going to do some sitting twists. You might not. Depends how you feel. So you've bending your right leg up. The inside edge of your right foot is away from the left thigh. So I've got 3 inches probably. And then you inhale the left arm up, finding the length. And as you exhale, wrap that round the right leg. Right hand goes behind the right buttock. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twisting. And you're thinking about that rib cage turning round. The left foot is flexed, toes to the ceiling. So that leg is active. Each inhale, find some length. And each exhale, a little bit more twist. So your inhale, lengthening. And exhale, seeing if you can find a bit more twist. Coming back to center, swapping over those legs. And inhaling the right arm up. Doo. Exhale, wrap it round the left leg. Left hand behind the left buttock. And then you lengthen and twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And release that. Come back to center. And then lower yourself down to the mat. Arms down by your side. Extend the legs out, toes to the ceiling. So they're active. A few alternate leg raises. Wait for an exhale to send your right leg up. The inhale brings it back down. And you can go to the left leg. Inhale brings it back down. Exhale sends it up. And then shmoo back down. Finishing on your left leg. And then bending the knees, popping the feet down. We'll roll up into bridge to finish. You might like to play with a rocking of the pelvis first. So flattening the lower back against the mat and then releasing it. And then pushing through the feet, engaging those bottom muscles and rolling up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Checking that the knees don't fall out, so you're keeping the legs parallel. Coming up as far as is comfortable. And then drawing the feet in without moving them. Draw the feet in towards the bottom and activate the hamstrings and the glutes. Breathing there. You might like to interlace your fingers behind your back and come right up onto your shoulders. Pushing through the feet. Really good lift up through the spine. Breathe. And then when you've had enough, rolling back down, cog by cog, vertebrae by vertebrae. And letting the knees fall into the chest for a little rockety-roo. And then if there's anything else you'd like to do, now is the time to do it. Because it's Shavasana time. Yeah! Coming to your comfortable relaxation position. And just start by noticing the breath, letting the breath settle. And letting the breath settle you. Notice how the body expands, swells as you inhale. And how it softens and releases as you exhale. Bringing weight to any area that doesn't feel heavy. Maybe using the exhale to help you do that. Noticing the contact points. So the contact points with the earth, back of the head, shoulder blades, parts of the spine and pelvis, legs and feet. But also noticing what your hands are touching. There's parts of your body that are touching each other. Notice the contact. Taking the awareness to the space in between the eyebrows, your third eye. Noticing what it feels like. The skin, beneath the skin. Softening the eyes. Maybe noticing a flicker of light and dark at the eyelids. Seeing if you can soften around the eyes, behind them. listening with your right ear, listening with your left ear, both ears together, softening the ears and relaxing the area around the ears. Notice what happens. Inside the right nostril, inside the left nostril, both nostrils together. Inside the right cheek, inside the left cheek, roof of the mouth, tongue, the point at the base of your throat, the shoulders, the right shoulder and the left shoulder, and the space in between. Letting the awareness fill your shoulders, melting ice to water into the earth, filling the shoulders with awareness. Palm of your hand, sensations in the palms of your hand, that subtle pulsing, vibration, tingling. Softening the hands and then softening them again. What happens when you intentionally soften your hands? Soles of the feet, what's happening in the soles of your feet? Softening and softening again. What happens when you intentionally soften your feet? Filling all 10 toes with awareness. Visualize your toes, the shape, the size. And seeing if you can picture the space inside them. All 10 toes. And then adding the feet. Lower legs, knees, thigh, and the pelvis. Fill the pelvic bowl with awareness. Belly, diaphragm, rib cage, And then resting your attention on your heart center. Finding the breath there. So as you inhale, the breath expands out from the heart center. And as you exhale, it returns. Just be aware of what you find in your heart center. And be kind and nurturing to that. Bringing the awareness back to the third eye. Resting the attention there for the last few breaths. Sensations on the skin, beneath the skin. Taking a couple of deeper breaths. Inhaling and fully exhaling, replenishing the lungs. And then starting to bring a bit of movement back, maybe moving the head from side to side. Wiggling fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Bringing the knees in for a rockety-roo. Rolling over onto your right side. Taking a few more breaths there. And then when you're ready, making your way up to meet me in sitting. Inhale, taking the hands to prayer at the heart. That's all right. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale. Thank you very much.